Okay, the first step then is to put some of this Wheelsmith spoke prep on the threads of the spokes. This Wheelsmith spoke prep I think is the best spoke prep you can get. I've tried a few different ones. This pot I've used honestly for about 100 wheel builds. It's got at least half left. It was about $25, which may seem a little bit expensive for such a tiny pot. However, 100 wheel builds and it's still going. I think conservatively you're probably going to get about 150 out of it, which is, I mean, that's amazing. The reason it's got tape around it is because it makes it easy to undo. Sometimes it can get a bit sort of gunked up around the lid and half glued shut, so I put tape around it so I can grab hold of it and twist the lid off a lot easier when I'm in a rush to build a wheel. All right. Okay, so we are going to put the spoke prep on the threads. I've developed a way to do this which uses the least amount of spoke prep possible but gets a really nice coating on there, not too much. So I'll show you how to do that now. Okay, so open the spoke prep, make sure it's got around the edge here. If not, turn it upside down a few times with the lid on, obviously. And we're going to use the stuff on the edge rather than dip it into the middle because that is better. All right, so watch this. Take one spoke, smear it around like this, just turn it around, scrape a bit off there. So you've got about that much on there. That looks like quite a bit. See if we can focus in on it. Yep. Then get a second spoke and sort of go around the thread like that on the second spoke, and that gives a perfect coating on both threads. So you do two spokes at the same time. So I'm now going to do the whole lot. You don't want to watch me do that, so I'm going to stop the camera, turn it back on once I've done that, and then we can move on to the next step. Right, there we go. All the spoke threads are prepped. Now we have to leave this to dry for a while. While it's drying, we are going to prepare the nipples. Now, what we're going to do to the nipples? Well, I find that if you put a bit of lube on the shoulder of the nipple where it touches the spoke hole, it makes building it and truing it and just generally working with it from the point that you make it and then, you know, forever really, a lot easier, because it means that you're not sort of having to wrestle with two materials biting into each other if your spoke tension is, you know, pretty high or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to lube all the nipples up, put them on a plate so we don't lose them, and yeah, once we've done that, the spoke prep should be dry, and then we can go about putting the spokes together through the hub and into the rim. Right, there we've got 24 spoke nipples. These are Sapim 14mm alloy nipples in black. To lube them, we're going to use some Finish Line premium grease, nearly finished. I'll get a bit out and shove it on the plate like I'm eating sushi. Then we're going to use that and put a bit on each nipple, and that's it. So I'll do that and then show you afterwards because it's pretty laborious. Alright, there's 24 lubed nipples. You can see I've applied the lube at the base here of the nipple where it sits into the rim, not round here at the top, okay, just round the bottom, and that's it. So next step is, yeah, putting the spokes through the hub and then lacing them into the rim. Okay, for some reason my camera didn't record the start of the next section, so let me just explain now what I'm talking about so the next part makes sense because it jumps in sort of halfway through. The first step of lacing a wheel is to put the 6, assuming 24 holes, is to put 6 inward bound drive side spokes into position. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, inward bound, okay? Ignore these outward bound spokes here. What you do is you put the first spoke through the drive side, inward bound, and then you go up to just left of the valve hole, and that's the first spoke in position to the left of the valve hole. From there, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the second inward bound spoke. Okay, that should make the next section make a bit more sense. Sorry about the camera problems. If you have any questions, please post in the comments down below and I'll answer them. Okay, thanks. Okay, the second spoke is in position now. We've missed a hole and gone to the next hole. Now we need to look at the rim and count 1, 2, 3, 4 spoke holes and go up, put the nipple on, spin it around, drop into position. There you go. So we're going to do that all the way around the wheel until we have the inward bound drive side spokes in place. I'll show you when that's finished. Okay, there we go. So there's 6 spokes in there now. They are the inbound drive side spokes. Next we're going to do the outbound drive side spokes, which will involve putting them through from the opposite direction, and then we are going to pass them under the spokes that are in position now to form the 2 cross pattern that we were looking for in the build. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that now. Right, so to do this, you take another spoke and you come out, grab it so it doesn't fall over, and then you are going to pass it over the first spoke there, so that's the first cross, and then under the second spoke, and then you're going to find the middle point between this spoke and this spoke, which is this point here. At this point we have enough spokes there so that the wheel is starting to form a shape, which means we can't pass the spoke up and out of the rim to screw the nipple on. So we need to therefore find something to drop the nipple down into the rim and screw it on. Now the best thing for that is another spoke. So what we do is we get an old spoke or just another spoke, screw it onto the nipple from the other end, so the top of the nipple, the shoulder, we screw on, drop it down into the rim, and then we screw it together like this until it bites, and then we hold it here with our finger when it sticks out the rim and unscrew the spoke we put it in with. So we've got a spoke, an old spoke, with the nipple screwed on from the other side, so that's ready to drop into the rim and catch the spoke on the other side. Okay, so holding the spoke in place, we drop the other spoke down, and actually we can come out the other side of the rim so we can see what we're doing, engage it and actually turn it from the top with our left hand, which is fiddly, until it bites. There we go, that's in position. Then hold the nipple, turn the top spoke, there we go, that's out, and then there we go, there's our spoke in place. That's our first cross there. Now I'm going to go around and do the whole lot. Okay, so all the drive side spokes are in. The next step is more simple. We just put the non-drive side spokes in. Now the non-drive side spokes will be radial, so there's no crossing over. They just go straight from the spoke hole in the hub directly upwards to the spoke hole in the rim. It's the same procedure. We just thread it through from the outside in, so the spoke heads will be sitting on the outside of the drive side, non-drive side flange. Then stick a nipple on the end, and then that's the wheel laced up. Okay, I'll show you when that's done. Alright, there we go, laced up. Okay, so that is 2 cross on the drive side, radial on the non-drive side, spokes out. The next step will be to get it in the truing stand, bring all the tensions up a little bit, give it some form. We're not going to get it totally straight in the truing stand though. That will be the next stage of truing it and building it, which will be putting it in the bike it's intended to be in, and then truing it and tensioning it into that frame so it works perfectly for the frame it's going to go in, rather than just making it straight according to the truing stand, which is never going to be the same as a frame.